Well, hi everyone. Today what we're going to look at is how to create a map, generate a map from the project that we have started in ArcGIS Pro. So I'm going to open what we were working on previously, and I just have it there in my quick links to open. You may have to browse to a file or a folder. And as it brings in this information where we left off last time, let's pick up from there and see if we can create just a simple map that we could print out or share with someone through email or whatever medium they may prefer. We won't look at sharing online today, but we will be looking at that next week. So stay tuned for how we can upload this to the cloud and actually make web layers as well. Okay, so just as I look around and just to remind you where we were, we have just a simple map. We have boundaries outlined for counties. We brought in data points for different businesses in Ephraim, their position and their type, as well as a few different restaurants in the North Sanpete. From a few select cities. Okay, so we have all this information, and now what we'd like to do is generate a paper map on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that looks nice, that's very readable, and that has the information that we have created. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, first thing I'd like us to do is let's go ahead and come to the Insert tab. And as you come to insert, a few things you may insert: a new map. You can actually have more than one map up here along the top. A new layout. Then there's a few other things: notebook, toolbox, report. We won't get into those right now, but they also have their place. Let's go ahead and create a new layout. And this is where it's going to ask us, well, what size of sheet of paper would you like? Let's just do the traditional 8.5 by 11 that we could print on a normal printer, but you also can create maps on other sizes of sheets. Now, when I create a layout, what I see is this blank sheet of paper, and it's up to me now to take the map I've created and find a place for it and add any other items that I may want to add. You'll notice when layout is selected, a few of my menus change across the top, and at least from my Insert tab and associated ribbon, I have different options like north arrows and legend bars. I haven't seen those before, and when I select my map and step back, those things are gone. Okay, but from the layout, I can bring in the map that we've worked on. Notice this is the model, okay? What we've created here with the state of Utah, the counties, this is a model, and we're going to grab from our model pieces of information that we want to show in our map. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to select layout one more time, and from the Insert tab, one of the things that you can see is that you can insert is a map frame. So if I click map frame, you'll see that Kyle's map, which is what I named that map, is an option. There's the default extent, or there's the extent that we left off on. That's the one I'm going to select. Now I click it, and notice nothing really happens outside of my cursor is changed, and there's a little box highlighted up here called rectangle. It's now my turn to click down on my left mouse button and drag a box where this map should go. And as I do that, it brings in our map, and you'll see from our layout, within layout 1, we now have everything that we created from our map. I can move this around to different spots on my sheet of paper, change its size, okay, with these little nodes in the corner of that box. Now, what if I want to change the position within the map? I can right click on the map and click activate, and now I can actually pull my map around, and it's as if I'm working in the model. I can zoom in just a little bit more if we'd like. And now once I'm done, with my activated map, I'm going to come up to this activated map frame layout and close the activation. Okay, and now I can, again, as I grab it, it's like I'm moving it around on the sheet of paper. Okay, this looks great. Something else I want to add to our map is what's called an inset map. So an inset map shows the area that we're working from. So right now we're looking at Sanpete County, and if someone wasn't familiar with Sanpete County, they may look at this and have no idea where it's positioned. And so an inset map shows just a highlighted region within a greater area like the state of Utah, so that someone who was unfamiliar with central Utah could see, oh, okay, they're referring to this part of the state of Utah. So let me go ahead and walk you through how to create an inset map, and then invite you guys to do the same on your own computers. So again, I'm going to go to this Insert tab, and these first options will always be there for us. They don't change. I can insert an additional map. So I'm going to insert an additional map. Like we did before, I think the first thing I'll do is look at its properties, change its name, and I'm just going to say this is my inset map. And also its coordinate system. I want to see it similar to how I see the other map, so that it's projected the same. So I'm going to go to Projected Coordinate Systems and come down to State Plane, select State Plane, or NAD 1983 2011 US feet, and then I'll scroll all the way down until I see State Plane Utah Central. And here we are, NAD 1983 2011 State Plane Utah Central US feet, and I'm going to select that coordinate system. And again, we see more of that conic projection, and we can zoom in to the state of Utah. Okay, next thing I want to do for our inset map is I want to go back to our catalog. So remember, the catalog is kind of where I navigate my folders and any other data or information connected to my project. I have it selected down here. This little tab brings the catalog pane back up to the right hand side. Now if that ever goes away and you can't find it, it's not selectable down here, you'll want to go to View and click Catalog Pane, and then it will reappear. Okay, so for our project, we connected to a folder called Create Project and Add Data. Okay, I'm going to come in and find our county boundaries one more time. It's within this geodatabase, and I'm going to pull counties into our map. Now what I would like is the state of Utah with just Sanpete County shaded in. So I don't want to show all of Utah's counties, just Sanpete County. So I'm going to use a geoprocessing tool to select Sanpete. So let's see, let's come to our analysis, and I'm going to click on Tools, and all of a sudden we have the geoprocessing pane up here. And I'm going to find a tool that's called Select. Now I'll tell you, there are lots and lots of tools. You can explore the toolbox and look at the different tools. These tools allow us to do things with our data. And we won't go over all of them or a comprehensive list, but let's hopefully try to study a few and learn from them so that we can use them when appropriate. And you'll become familiar with their names, but you can also, as you search for them, search for a description of what the tool does, and it'll help you find them. So the Select tool is going to take from our data set, which is the state of Utah's counties, and allow us to choose one or more of these counties to keep in a separate data set. So it's going to create a data set from the data set that we have. The way that you do that is first come in and select the input features. Now I'm going to select something that's already on the map, so it's going to appear in the drop-down. If it wasn't on the map but it was in my folders, I would come over and browse for that file. Now it wants me to give it a name. When I highlight this box, it shows the location where it's being saved, and I can choose a name, and I'm just going to choose Sandpeat is the name I'm going to give it. Now I get to choose an expression. So for this expression, I'm going to say select from, and this is going to show me all of the different categories that are in the attribute table. So just as a reminder, I can come to counties, right click on it, look at the attribute table, and within that attribute table, for every polygon there's a identifying number. It gives it what type of shape it is, a polygon. There's a number, a county number, and then right here this column has names. So here's our familiar names for each county. There's other information tied to this, like its area or population. Okay, so again, that's from the attribute table, and I'm going to select an attribute based off the name, and I want it to be equal to Sandpeat. So when I run that tool select, it now will create another data set that is just Sandpeat. And so if I turn off counties from my drawing list, I see just Sandpeat County. Let's go ahead and change its appearance. I'm going to, so I clicked on the colored box, and I'm going to come not to gallery but rather to properties, and I want to color the whole county red. I'm going to click apply and pull out of symbology. The next thing I would like is state boundaries, so that in my inset map someone unfamiliar with the area would be able to recognize the boundaries of the state of Utah and then recognize where that red shaded polygon is. So what I'm going to do is come back to my catalog pane. Now I don't have a data set in my folder for the boundaries of the state of Utah. I haven't included that. I haven't gone to download it, haven't found it anywhere. So I'm going to come to the portal and look at the Living Atlas and see if I can find state boundaries. So I'm just going to go, let's see, maybe we'll just type in state boundaries, and let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so our first option here is United States State Boundaries 2018. Let's just pull that into our map. I'm just dragging that onto the map. And okay, so it shades the states, and we have a boundary line. Let's go ahead and click on the symbology to modify the appearance. And I'm going to increase the outline width to, I think I'll go 1.5. Make a good bold line. And then I don't really want this greenish background color, so I'm just going to do no color and say apply. Okay, and pull out of symbology, and now I have the state of Utah. It's outlined in bold grayish blackish color, and then Sandpeat County is highlighted red right in the center of the state. I think this looks like a good map for someone who's looking at our map and doesn't know where we're working from. They'll now be able to see. So I'm going to come back to my layout, and I'm going to add a map frame. So insert is already highlighted. I'm going to come click map frame. It says, well, what map frame would you like? I'm going to choose our inset map at the zoom level it was left at, and I'm going to draw it right down here. Now my inset map now appears with the state of Utah, and let's see see if I can increase its shape just a little bit. And Sanpete County is highlighted. I think that'll help anyone looking at our map to recognize where we're working from. Okay, next thing I might add a couple other elements that really every paper map that you print out needs. Now this will be a little bit different when we talk web layers and how we share a web layer or host a web layer. But for right now, let's just stick with paper maps. A couple things that we'll want on a map that we print out is a north arrow. We'll want a scale bar. We'll want a legend. And we should have a title and probably the name or author of the map on that title in some way. Okay, showing a created by. So let's go ahead and use this white space down here to bring in a few of those map elements, and then maybe we'll put our title right across the top. Now from the insert bar, and again I have layout selected, north arrow, scale bar, legend are all there for us. So let's go ahead and choose a north arrow. Doesn't really matter which one you choose. There may be a standard at the place where you work, or a standard for a given project. So you'll want to be aware of those things, but for us we just want to make sure that we have those elements included. I'm going to put our north arrow right there. Sometimes it looks good to put it up on your map, so I could do that as well. The scale bar I'm going to choose. I want to be careful here, making sure that my scale bar matches my original map, not my inset map, or else my values will be a little bit skewed. I think I'll use just a stepped scale bar. I'm going to come and bring it right along the bottom here. Now, as I look at this, it goes from 0 to 400 miles. What map is it referring to? It's referring to my inset map. There's no way that it's 400 miles across the Sanpete Valley. So let's go ahead and right click. I'm going to click on properties. And as I click on properties to format a scale bar, notice it says what map are you looking at? Map frame 1. And I'm going to do this little drop down. I'm going to say let's go to the original map frame. Okay, the first one. Okay, and you can see here map frame 1, what it includes is the inset map, and then right here is map frame. What does it include? Kyle's map. So I'm going to leave it there with that associated map. Let's see if we can stretch its appearance a little bit. And last thing I want to add is a legend. So I'm going to click on legend. Again, nothing happens, but my cursor changes, and it's like my cursor is ready to select a rectangle or sketch out a rectangle. And so I'm going to bring in our legend. Now, as you look at our legend, it also is asking what map frame are you referring to. So do you want Sanpete and USA states? I'm going to keep it on the original map frame. I want to show the title. I'm just going to leave it as legend for now. And then let's look at what items are included in our legend. Counties is included. What if I want to include like our food positions? Why isn't that naturally included? I'm just going to pull down on it and drag it up into my legend. And now it appears. I'm going to do the same with our Ephraim businesses. I'm just going to pull it up into our legend. And likewise it appears. Let's do the same with municipalities. Pull it into my legend. Now, they have kind of funny names that we generated as we generated that data. I want these names to be a little bit more, I don't know, familiar for people who may look at this. So I'm going to come down and right click and go to properties on that data. And I'm not changing the file's name, but I'm going to change the name as it appears in my contents. So let's see, let's just call this Sandpeat. I'll just call it selected Sandpeat restaurants. And now my legend shows this as selected Sandpeat restaurants. Let's do the same here. I'm going to right click on Ephraim businesses, go property, and just say select businesses in Ephraim and click OK. Likewise with municipal boundaries. Let's go ahead and just call it municipal boundaries. Okay. All right, let's see. I think this looks good. So I've generated the legend. We have the north arrow. We have the scale bar that's appropriate to our map. Let's go ahead and give this a title. Now to insert a title, a couple different ways that we can do this. Maybe the simplest way for us is just to insert text. And so that you'll see there's over here just a text box. Okay, if I just choose a rectangle or click this drop down, I can have a rectangle with text on the inside or just text that's just shown. Let's try that. I'm just going to come and select drag another box right across the top, and I'll just show this as the Sandpeat locations. Okay, I don't have this map where we have kind of random things we're showing. I don't have a real significant name. Select Sandpeat locations. Okay, I can come here and also work on this. Maybe I'll say by Kyle Rowley. Or do you want, let's do it this way. I'm going to backspace that. Make this box a little smaller. Bring it right. We'll try to center it as best as we can above the map. And you'll see as you practice this, you'll see how there are, it'll help you center positions. And let's just choose one more text box. And this one will make small. And just say by Kyle Rowley. Okay, I have a basic map here. Now, as I save my project, this remains part of the project. But as I'm ready to print this, the place that I go to do that is I come to Share and I print the layout. Okay, I can click Print and find a printer off of whatever source you may have, and I can print out that sheet. If I do this export, I can export the layout and I can save it as a PDF, as a JPEG, and save it to a place where maybe it's something that's easy to email and share with someone else. So that's how I'll end this segment of our video. Please practice this with what we did previously, and then likewise you'll find an assignment where you'll redo what we've done with your select data. Thank you.